because of her, I have to sit here like an animal. Serenity now! Serenity now!
Few sitcoms turned fleeting appearances into TV legends quite like Seinfeld. Viewers still remember that one-off guest who upstaged the regulars with a catchphrase, a meltdown, or perfect comedic timing. From brash bosses to unforgettable bad dates, here are the top 10 scene-stealing Seinfeld guests, counting down to the best. Number 1. Frank Costanza from Seinfeld. Let's go back to the living rooms of 1990s America, where the Costanza family dinner table was about to become ground zero for comedic chaos. When Jerry Stiller stormed onto Seinfeld in Season 5's The Handicap Spot in 1994, his Frank Costanza instantly outshone everyone in the room. Stiller replaced John Randolph, but it was his signature bellowing, equal parts frustration and love, that turned Frank into a pop culture lightning rod. Whether he was screaming about the infamous Festivus holiday or demanding the Serenity Now, Frank's unpredictable energy redefined the sitcom dad. One-liners like, "You want a piece of me?" became canon for fans. No longer just a side character, Frank quickly felt essential, shaping so much of what we remember about Seinfeld's later years. The world of Seinfeld was sharper, louder, and funnier with Frank Costanza at its epicenter. Somehow, his energy left us wanting to grab a pole for Festivus grievances of our own. As we move on, another unforgettable guest is waiting in the wings. Number 2. Tim Whatley from Seinfeld. You could always tell things were about to get weird when Tim Whatley walked into the office. Played by Bryan Cranston, long before he became Walter White, this dentist wasn't just fixing teeth, he was stealing scenes. In standout episodes like The Mom and Pop Store in 1994 and especially The Yada Yada in 1997, Whatley's deadpan delivery and offbeat antics had Jerry and the gang completely off balance. He converted to Judaism just for the jokes, flirted shamelessly with Elaine, and handed out adult magazines in his waiting room, each time raising the bar for great guest stars. Cranston spun pure comic gold from every moment, somehow managing to outshine a cast famous for never being upstaged. It wasn't just the jokes or the perfectly awkward pauses, it was the sense that anything could happen when you sat in that dental chair. As the light hum of the dentist's drill faded, you always wondered what side character would crash the next party. Number 3. The close talker Aaron from Seinfeld. The moment Aaron steps on screen in Seinfeld's 5th season episode The Raincoats, the laughter starts tightening, just like his distance from everyone's face. Judge Reinhold brings Aaron to life with physical comedy that borders on the theatrical, taking the simple idea of a man who stands too close and dialing it up into a phenomenon. In 1994, the sight of him leaning into Jerry's personal space or fixating on Morty and Helen Seinfeld sent waves of laughter through audiences, and a bit of squirming too. What makes Aaron E. so memorable isn't just the running gag, but Reinhold's total commitment. The cheerfully oblivious smile, the breathy enthusiasm, the way each line lands inches from someone's nose. He literally redefined what it means to be both friendly and wildly uncomfortable. It's a cameo that left 90s viewers watching from behind their fingers, grateful for a little distance on their own couches. As the credits roll on The Raincoats, you can't help but notice. You're sitting way back and still grinning, ready for what Seinfeld delivers next. Number 4. Louis Joe Bookman from Seinfeld. Sharp suit, stern glare, no-nonsense delivery. Louis Joe Bookman wasn't your typical sitcom guest star. When Philip Baker Hall stormed into Jerry's apartment in Seinfeld's legendary library episode, viewers expected a throwaway bit. Instead, Bookman's relentless, hard-boiled pursuit of a decades-overdue copy of Tropic of Cancer became iconic. Hall's staccato delivery turned what could have been a one-note gag into one of television's all-time memorable cameos. Debuting in Season 3, this library detective's grilling of Jerry about overdue books set a new standard for comedic guest performances and cemented Bookman's place in fan lore. With lines like, "You better not mess with the Dewey Decimal System," Bookman's deadpan intensity felt straight out of a noir classic, not a Manhattan sitcom. Fans never forgot his single-minded zeal. His legacy endures, memorialized in memes and ranked on best guest star lists to this day. It just goes to show, sometimes the strictest librarian steals the entire show. Up next, another face you might remember from primetime, but in a way you never expected. Number 5. Elaine's roommate Tina from Seinfeld. Remember that wild-eyed roommate who seemed to leave a tornado of energy in her wake? That was Tina, played by Siobhan Fallon Hogan. whose quick, unforgettable appearances in the first seasons of Seinfeld brought a perfect dose of unpredictability. Tina wasn't just Elaine's oddball sidekick. She was a scene stealer, mocking Kramer's antics, misinterpreting Jerry, and once sparking chaos when she let a party unfold in Jerry's apartment. Her most memorable turn came in the 1991 episode when she prodded George into a disaster, her brash voice echoing through those New York hallways. Tina's chunky jewelry and bigger-than-life presence felt straight out of a real, weird Upper West Side apartment. Though she vanished almost as quickly as she appeared, fans still talk about her zany spark, and some wish she'd gotten her own storyline. Her short run reminds us how even the smallest roles on Seinfeld could leave a permanent mark. Now, with Tina's laughter still ringing in our heads, let's see who stole the spotlight next. Let's pause for a second. Who was your favorite quirky guest character on Seinfeld? Or which quick appearance left you laughing the hardest? Drop your top picks or weirdest memories from those early episodes in the comments below. Number 6. Bookman, the library cop from Seinfeld. A trench coat, a stern stare, and a monologue that still echoes down sitcom history halls. Bookman was that rare one-scene wonder who walked off with the audience's heart. In Season 3's The Library, Philip Baker Hall stormed onto Seinfeld as Lieutenant Bookman, the gravel-voiced library investigations officer out to solve the case of Jerry's overdue Tropic of Cancer from 1971. With a rapid-fire delivery straight out of film noir, Hall delivered lines about civic duty and public disgrace that left Jerry, and us, reeling. His gruff sincerity made the absurd deadly serious, transforming what could have been a throwaway role into comedy gold. All it took was one powerhouse appearance in 1991 to make Bookman a legend among the show's sea of fan favorites. In a series devoted to the everyday, Bookman's hard-boiled energy became unforgettable. Up next, even more unlikely icons from Seinfeld's galaxy of cameos. Number 7. Mr. Wilhelm from Seinfeld. You could almost hear the murmur of the Yankees bullpen whenever Mr. Wilhelm walked into George Costanza's office. Played with glassy-eyed zeal by Richard Hurd, Wilhelm became a standout presence in the later seasons of Seinfeld. Whether he was blandly approving George's strangest ideas or recounting bewildering tales of baseball bureaucracy, Wilhelm's deadpan confusion was comic gold. His mind seemed to drift just out of reach, making every conversation with George a delightful exercise in awkwardness. Hurd's first appearance as Wilhelm came in Season 5, immediately establishing a dynamic where nothing at Yankee headquarters ever quite made sense. From joining a cult to forgetting where he worked, Wilhelm's oblivious loyalty kept the workplace off-kilter, letting small moments between George and his boss sparkle with unpredictability. Richard Hurd's calm delivery and impeccable timing made every office scene just a bit weirder and a lot funnier. The sound of Wilhelm's absent-minded tone still echoes whenever someone at work says, "It's an organizational thing." So let's turn the pages from the Yankees office to the next unforgettable guest appearance. Number 8. David Puddy from Seinfeld. There was something instantly unforgettable about David Puddy the moment Patrick Warburton first swaggered onto Seinfeld in The Fusilli Jerry back in 1995. With that granite jaw, monotone delivery, and hilariously blank stare, Puddy became Elaine's on-again, off-again boyfriend who never missed a chance to deadpan his way into sitcom history. He wore his quirks on his sleeve, literally, painting his face to cheer for the New Jersey Devils and tossing out that famous deep-voiced, "Yeah, that's right." Despite only appearing in a handful of episodes across seasons 6 through 9, Puddy managed to leave a mark with every entrance, stealing scenes with just a raised eyebrow or a legendary high five. Fans quickly realized they never got enough of this character. Puddy's odd mix of loyalty, obliviousness, and peculiar charm made him a fan favorite, proof that it only took a few minutes per episode to become a Seinfeld legend. The echoes of his catchphrases still ring if you find yourself in a crowded hockey game or a quirky group of friends. Next up, another scene stealer heads our way. Number 9. Babu Bhatt from Seinfeld. Steam rises from a half-empty mug at Monk's, but you can almost hear Babu Bhatt's cheerful voice echoing across the booth. Played by Brian George, Babu made his unforgettable Seinfeld debut in The Cafe Season 3 in 1991. Jerry, just trying to help, sets off a chain of mishaps that leaves Babu's tiny dream cafe in shambles. And Babu, still smiling, calling Jerry a very, very bad man. Babu's steadfast optimism, thick accent, and the heartbreaking saga of his lost green card in Season 4 tugged hard at the laughs and the heart. Unlike George or Newman, Babu didn't stick around, but he left his mark. His struggle with the American system and undying hope brought a real-world sting to Seinfeld's apartment comedy. Even today, it's tough not to think of Babu's optimism whenever life serves up a tough break. And as Jerry's apartment door closes yet again, you wonder, will the next visitor bring even more chaos? Number 10. The Soup Nazi, Kassem from Seinfeld. Few guest stars torched themselves into TV legend quite like Larry Thomas as the Soup Nazi. In Season 7's iconic The Soup Nazi in 1995, Thomas brought New York's toughest soup counterman to boiling life with razor-sharp timing and a stare that cut deeper than a ladle. His barked demands, no bread, no talking, follow the rules, turned a simple lunch line into reality-bending comedy. And his "no soup for you" catchphrase leapt from NBC's Seinfeld to playgrounds and office break rooms everywhere. For this one episode, Thomas earned an Emmy nomination, forever binding his steely glare to television history. Fans still debate, was the soup really that good? Or did the fear make it better? Kassem may have only run his kitchen for 23 feverish minutes of TV, but he set a new gold standard for sitcom cameos, proof that sometimes one stern "no" delivers decades of laughter. As the aroma of imaginary mulligatawny fades, our tour of legendary guest appearances stirs on.